Out of all 8 cognitive functions relating to the 16 personality types, for me personally, I think SEs are the most fascinating to study. It's just so much when like I think about the Waynes who I've come across in my life, and then when I consider what their childhood might have been like, it's just so interesting to like figure out how they might have developed into the way that they are today. Something that is just like coming to me now about SEs, it's like I wonder, I mean, I just get this sense of like, why do I feel like in all of their childhoods, they could probably relate to feeling like nobody was there for them. Nobody showed up for them in a physical way to protect them. I just get this sense of like, as these could probably look back on their childhood, and they probably all can relate to this feeling of like, there were times in my life where nobody was there for me, or when I needed somebody to protect me physically and nobody was there. Like, just this feeling of like somebody not physically having my back. And then I think that's why, like, something I noticed about SEs in present day is how they are the type. They're so protective. They're like I feel like they're so quick to like have somebody's back. They're so quick to show up for somebody. They're so quick to like um defend somebody. But I think that comes from not having that themselves when they were a child. And so I think that's why they're like that for everybody else, because they wish somebody was like that when they were young. A theory that I often stand by is that I feel like people often give what they themselves like to receive. And I think a lot of people kind of do this subconsciously. I don't think a lot of people even realize that they do this. But yeah, I think a lot of people give what they like to receive or what they wish they had in childhood. If I even study my own personality type, I don't have SE, but I have NE. And I think about how open I am to listening to other people's perspectives and how much I love listening to people's opinions and viewpoints and hearing people out. But I can even look back on my own childhood and be like, I give something, I'm giving something that I wish I had as a child. I feel like I didn't have a voice. I feel like I couldn't share my perspective. I felt like I couldn't share my opinion. Like I felt very silenced, shut out as a kid. And so it's no surprise that I am subconsciously given what I wish I had myself. And so I think the same is true with SEs. I feel like they're given what they wish they had. They give their presence in the same way that they probably wish somebody was physically present and there for them growing up as children. Something I noticed about SEs is they're like the type of people who, it's like they notice everybody. They acknowledge probably pretty much everybody. They could probably walk into a room and greet one person, hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? Like they notice everybody around them, but I feel like they give their attention. They acknowledge other people's presence because they themselves knew what it felt like not to be acknowledged, not to be noticed as a kid. And so I feel like that's why they do that for other people, because they know what that felt like. Yeah, it's like they're the type to make everybody else feel seen. And yeah, like they can be very generous with their attention, because yeah, I feel like that sadly something that they didn't get in childhood was enough attention. And that's even something that I touched on in a previous video. But yeah, like even as an NE user, something that I'm generous with is giving my ear and listening to people, because that's something I didn't get in childhood, was feeling heard and listened to. And so, yeah, it's just so cool in so many ways Well, I know I personally like studying childhood and seeing, like, looking back on a person's childhood and seeing why they are the way they are in present day. But yeah, it's just so cool to like look into this stuff. But yeah, I just wanted to share that, and I hope that was helpful to somebody. And then something else that I wanted to add, when you think about how SEs are known for being like observant and like watchful of their surroundings, like I wonder if that came from childhood of feeling like they had to be watchful of their surroundings because of that lack of safety, because of that lack of someone else not looking out for them, that feeling of somebody else wasn't watching over them and making sure they were safe. And so they have to feel like they had to be watchful of their surroundings, look out for themselves. And then as adults, I feel like something that you notice about SEs is they give that to other people now. They're probably the type to be looking out for other people now, once again, probably because they didn't have that as a kid. And so because they know what that's like, they, I'm assuming, don't want other people to feel like that. Though I don't know if it's subconscious. I don't know if it's an intentional thing that they do, or if it's just subconscious. They just do it and probably are not even aware of how they look out for other people and where that comes from, why they do that.